Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing from Monday, September 9th. On the visible satellite imagery, lots of smoke up north trapped in otherwise clear skies across the western Great Basin. We still have some cumulus cloud development, which will turn into showers and thunderstorms across much of Utah and the Arizona Strip this afternoon. Looking at the impact map for today, there are those showers, mixed wet and dry, but on the wetter side, and the further east you go over fuels that are considerably more moist than areas further north and west. But we do have continued breezy conditions, winds gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour across the Sierra front, much of Idaho. This is the vicinity where most of our large fires are located. That is a concern in those winds. Get even stronger on Tuesday, even gusting close to 40 miles per hour in the Sierra front, as well as up in much of Idaho. Again, breezy, and another batch of winds popping up across southern Nevada. As we go into Wednesday, very strong winds across the southern half of the geographic area because we have a very strong cold front delineated here by the dashed blue lines. Along and behind it, much colder air, showers, a colder type of rain pushing into much of the areas that have current large incidents. That is good news. That'll push into Wyoming as well, but still windy and still on the drier side. Along where we have the Davis fire, it'll be cooler. Humidity will be coming up a little bit, but the wind's still strong enough to cause issues there. Looking at lightning in the last 24 hours on the right-hand side, quite a bit across Nevada into the Arizona Strip, southwest Utah, and poking up into parts of far southern Idaho and also far northern portions of our Idaho area. Precipitation for the most part fairly light. There were a few cores that were more of a low-end wetting rain, these darker blues. Initial attack kind of light, overall 14 fires, but the overall acre is quite large, 25,000 acres. Some of those new fires, especially the one in southwest Idaho, south of Mountain Home, an issue. Large fire growth, 39,000 acres, a very productive day for our established fires. It has been a dry week. You can see the percent of normal on the right-hand side. The dark red indicates basically 0 to 5%, covering most of the area other than a few pockets that had some isolated showers. And you can see the ERCs responding quite well. Lots of 90 to 97 percentiles all the way up across large portions of Idaho into western Wyoming. Also the Sierra front, couple of stations in the purple near record highs above 97 percentile. But then you can see the percentiles really dropping off as you get east of the central Utah mountains into eastern Utah. The 1,000-hour heavy fuels, and this indicates where things are really burning quite well. The dark gold indicates 6 to 10%, mid to upper single digits on the 1,000-hour fuels, and that's a good portion of southern and western Idaho, all of Nevada, parts of far western Utah. And the upper level map for today, we kind of have a zonal flow, but still some moderate winds coming in, south-southwest winds, and we do have high risk for the immediate Sierra front, as well as portions of northeast Nevada into parts of Idaho and Wyoming. We'll look at those winds in a second. Here they are. You see the oranges here. These are gusts close to 30. The darker greens are more in the mid to upper 20s. We're a little bit sensitive with the high risk given the fact that we have so many existing and new fires in the area. These outer rings of purple are strong outflow boundaries from nearby thunderstorms that could affect some regions as well. Humidity, again, quite dry, low to mid-teens across much of Idaho and Nevada. So again, we had a productive burning day yesterday. Looks like things will be burning just as quickly today. Smoke forecast for this morning. You can see plumes of smoke coming from the Southern California fires into the southern Great Basin, and the fire productivity from both the Davis fire and our large complexes all across the Idaho mountains this morning. And then this afternoon, those fires become quite active here on the right-hand side. Looking for tomorrow, there's this approaching deep low pressure area, strong cold front along this green line of where the precipitation's coming in. So upper level winds will be increasing. We have high risk for a large portion of where our incidents are in central Idaho mountains, as well as the Sierra front, and even portions of southern Nevada with those increasing winds. You see those winds in the south increasing. near 30 miles an hour. You see some purples here, so wind gusts starting to pick up, maybe 35 miles per hour, maybe 40. Also, maybe 20 to 30 mile an hour winds, again, in areas that have established fires. And with those humidities dropping down into the mid-teens again, a very productive burning day for our fires on Tuesday. But on Wednesday, a big change. Deep low pressure moves down across the Pacific Northwest. Cold front drops down into towards the I-80 corridor. Behind it, much cooler temperatures, more of a stratiform rain, not your summertime thunderstorms. Much higher humidity, much cooler temperatures, wetting rains across the Idaho mountains. You can see the 7-day fire potential. We don't have high risk. We actually have our 7-day colors turning into the yellow, but we do have high risk for winds. As soon as you get south of the Idaho border, humidity will be coming up, but not fast enough, not strong enough. So any new fires or new and emerging or existing will see increasing gusty winds, and some of it could be close to 50 miles an hour. See the winds here, lots of purple on the map. These are gusts of 40, 45 miles an hour all across the region. Now the humidity starts to come up, but still, once you're south of the Idaho border, still 15, 18%, things will still burn, and then even drier single digits down in the south with those strong winds. So a big concern for wind on Wednesday, but up north, a bit of a different story. And precipitation up north, you can see these patches of green here. These are low-end wetting rain amounts, maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch amounts, but hitting where it's beneficial for a lot of our fires on the Payette and Boise National Forest, starting to slide into the Salmon Chalice and maybe parts of the northern Sawtooth and into Wyoming as well. So humidity there, the minimum humidity, it's going to be more like 25 to 35%, and it'll keep rising through the day into the evening hours. Big change in temperatures. You can see Boise 95 on Monday down to 76, so a 20-degree drop. Same for McCall up in Idaho, 84 to 64. Temperature drop will be a little slower further south because the front would not have passed through, but we'll see that 20-degree drop, I think, as we get into Thursday. 3-day precipitation average, again, low-end wetting rain, maybe a tenth to a quarter inch up in the central Idaho mountains. Not much relief for the Davis fire area. Some light precipitation in Utah. Now on Thursday, that precipitation continues in the northern parts of the central Idaho mountains. Coolness as well. Still breezy, still windy in the south. We haven't issued high risk yet. We'll evaluate that. We'll see how the humidities react, but temperatures cooling down everywhere. It's going to be short-lived. That low drops out. We get back to seasonable conditions on Friday. So it'll trough way up to the north, but it passes to our north on Saturday. We may start seeing increasing winds, but maybe some more moisture with the developing low on Sunday. Models are kind of all over the place here. We'll see how this pans out. But a lot of changes coming up next couple of days. This is the 7-day precipitation totals through here. You can see along and just north of the Salmon River is where the really heavy rains of 1 to 2 inches is going to be. But unfortunately for us, our area is south of the Salmon River. We'll see how well we walk that tightrope. The good news on the 8 to 14 day outlook, there is another frontal system which could pop through. So we do see below normal temperatures across much of the geographic area, and also above normal precipitation. So possibly a second punch of moisture. If it's a good one, it could have significant impacts in lowering our fire activity. I'll have to wait and see. Concludes our briefing. Have a great day.